Good morning, everyone. I am so sorry. Yesterday when we had our meeting, I did not record it. So I'm going back through today a short recap of yesterday's events so that you can stay up to date with us. The very first thing I talked about was your POA that is due December 10th. So you now have 7 days to get that in, and I'm going to show you on my screen what you need to do to make that happen. So on November the 4th, Miss Samantha sent out an email over listserv that has this guide right here, and it's the Programs of Activities report. She did a phenomenal job, step by step, telling you exactly what you need to do. If you need that email again, let me know. I will attach it to the email that I send out with this link. So we'll go back here. We'll go to Tracker, your chapter tracker calendar. To be able to assign something to a committee, to add it to your POA, it has to be on your calendar. So yesterday I added FFA Christmas party, and I literally just typed in FFA Christmas party, and then you have to organize it or assign it to a committee. So once you assign it to a committee, we're going to do personal growth, and then you'll save it. To check and make sure that it's saved, you'll go to reports. You'll select the 1920 school year. And then you will see right here it has saved. Now you have to have one event in every single area. So every area of the POA. Now this is what I need you to remember. Do not freak out if you're like, I don't have something that is for stakeholder engagement. Okay, what would you like to do? This is the whole reasoning behind the POA is that you plan this in the summer with your officers for a guide to, how do you want your year to look? What are you wanting to accomplish? And at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to accomplish everything, but you're going to have a really good start and a really good way to measure yourself as to, is our POA measuring up from last year? Also, you can look at your POAs from the years before and see, let's see if we have anything in them. Yeah, and to see where every year, this is something that we've done. So it's important for you to do these. This is not just some report that we're asking you to do. I mean, this is literally to help give you a plan. What are you doing? How is your FFA chapter going to strengthen agriculture, grow your leaders, and build communities? So it's really good. And remember, it's due December 10th. Now at that point, we will check into all of those. And if you don't have it, you'll be receiving an email, and you will have that. So it doesn't take long to do once you've added it all to your calendar. So if you did that this summer, congratulations, it's not going to take you very long at all. But that's literally all you have to do, is to just assign it to a committee, and then that's going to build your POA. The next thing, so here, before Christmas break, you have quite a bit of time. Sorry, that's not where I meant to go. You have quite a bit of time. And it's probably kind of an awkward time. You've got only just a few weeks left before Christmas break, so this is a really good time to get your rosters ready, because those are due January 20th. So next month, pretty quick, as soon as we come back, you're going to have to be doing that. The only thing that you have to have for that is your student's profile has to be at 100%. So mine is at 100%. As I walked through this yesterday, there are only two things that they have to do in order to have 100%. The high school graduation has to be filled out, and then their address has to be filled out. Those are the two things for our state that we require for 100% profile membership. And it literally just says profile complete for FFA membership, 100%. Now, you'll notice that it also says personal and parent contact information, 0. That's on you. If you utilize the AET for visits or things like that, or communicating with your students, then by all means have them fill that out. But beyond the graduation and the address, everything is at your discretion, because that's the only thing that we require for your membership. Okay, that's what I have to show you on the AAT. From the AAT, we're going to go to FSA.org. If you noticed on your calendar, it said that you need to be working on your proficiencies if you're doing that. So I'm going to show you where you can find the proficiency rubrics. So I just searched proficiency rubrics on the FFA page. I'm going to come down here. And if you need to know what each of these are, you know, where does your student fit in, what their projects, you can click on all of these. But we'll go to the Proficiency Resources. And then right here it says Proficiency Judging Rubrics. And so you'll select whichever one you have. So we're going to do the agri-science research because that's the one I've been asked about a lot. To save it, you click download. Now, when this box pops up, you may freak out. Don't. Anytime you download anything from the box, this will pop up. All it's trying to do is get you to sign in. You can literally click X, and you'll see down here that it's still downloaded, and you're able to open it, and you're ready to go. You did not have to sign in, and you now have whatever resource you needed. As far as, you know, if you're like, okay, that's great, but how do I even start an application? So, excuse me, you'll go to your students page. You'll go to reports, and in reports on the right side, it says degree and application manager. You'll be able to click the drop-down menu. And so there's two that it could potentially fall into. It's either going to be a proficiency application or it's going to be a research proficiency application. We're going to go ahead and select a proficiency application. We'll open it up. And then you'll go from here. Now it's a pretty lengthy process. Excuse me, you'll select which one that it goes with. And then you go from there. The reason why we suggest that you start doing it now is because you have free time, maybe if you have free time, and you're kind of, you know, you're ready for that student to start thinking about it. You've got someone who you would like to apply for it. I will say there is a teacher in our state who is phenomenal with proficiencies, and I apologize if you think, and if you feel that you are also proficient with proficiencies, then let me know, and I would love to give other teachers your contact too. But Miss Patty Priest is amazing, amazing. You know, if you've noticed, she's had national winners in proficiency areas, and she does really well with our state at our state convention every year. She is so open to helping others because she recognizes that it's a phenomenal award program, and it's a great chance to recognize students who are putting some work in with their SAE projects. So if you have questions, I'd love to answer them, but Miss Priest is definitely going to be the number one for this. So, but once you start setting up, you know, your proficiency award, it's a whole bunch. You'll see, and that's just for this one. So, and each one's going to be a little different, but hopefully, if you start now, then when February comes, it won't be so rushed, and you'll have a good quality application, and you'll have a chance to get feedback on it. So that's that. We're going to talk about one of my favorite programs through the FFA. It's called the Gift of Blue. If you have a student who is really phenomenal, but due to financial restrictions, they are unable to obtain a jacket, which, you know, the jacket can help them compete in leadership development events, if there's a CDE that they would need it for, as a chapter officer, as attending convention, attending banquets, any of those things. If you have a student who has a need, then there is a phenomenal program that we have in the FFA. So when you search the Gift of Blue with FFA, they kind of give you some information about each of it. And then down here at the bottom, you can give or you can receive. So if you have a student who is needing one, you're obviously going to click receive. You'll log in to your login. And so you are able to nominate your own students. If you have someone else who is wanting to nominate them, that is by all means fine. That's great. They can do the same thing. They'll just create a profile. So we're just gonna do the first one. I hope there's, yeah, perfect. So if you know someone from your chapter, you'll select the name of the student. And then it's gonna ask you, who's the advisor, what size are they, on the scarves and the ties. So the numbers 403, 403C, those are defined in the shop, the FFA shop. So if you're not sure which one you need, you just go to the shop FFA and you'll be able to select which one of those ties or scarves that you feel is best suited for that student. They'll fill out their contact information, and then there's a nomination statement. So this nomination statement is a minimum of 250 to 500 words. You save it and then you submit the application. So here's the part that's really important. So it says, once you've submitted your nomination, an email will be sent to the advisor you identified in step 2 who will approve your nomination. You as the advisor are approving or disapproving the application, unapproving the application. So you can nominate your students, you can approve your students for it. The only thing I suggest is to really be mindful of the need and know that we have lots of students in the state who could really benefit from this. I know personally I had 2 students receive the Gift of Blue who would have never got a jacket if we didn't have this program. And it just helps because jackets can be so expensive. And it's kind of neat that they get it in, and if you look up here, so it asks you, their name, if they have an office, the year, the state. It's a prideful moment when they get the jacket for the first time, and you're able to do that with the Gift of Blue. So once you submit it, it'll go to you, and then they'll ask you to follow the steps, and you'll go through that approval process. And it can take sometimes. Does it tell you? No. It can take sometimes, a few weeks to a month to get the jackets. So if you're thinking about someone who's really wanting to be active this coming spring semester, now would be a good time to do that. Now would be a good time to get that rolling. Sorry. The next thing is LDE season is coming up, and you guys have had so many questions. So let's go ahead and clarify. So on, and in case you didn't know, sorry, I just went through that and didn't say anything. Excuse me. On the Arkansas FFA website, we have LDE resources. So you'll click on association, you'll go down to leadership events, and then each of our individual contests are listed here. One that we've had lots and lots of questions about is extemporaneous public speaking. So let's pull up this bulletin. So here we have right here, so it says 18 topics will be prepared by the superintendent and will include three questions from each of the categories. So there's been questions that our office was coming up with questions. No, that relies on each sub area and each to create their own 18 topics. Now these are vast categories. So I mean, the questions could be endless, but these are the 6 categories that the questions could pertain to. So, but your individual sub areas are responsible for that. If you have any other questions or that wasn't quite clear enough for you, then please let one of us know and we'll help you out the best we can. But all of our LDE stuff that we can provide is here. I know I've been asked for some additional resources, so once I get those made, I will be able to share that with you. Good luck to those. I think we have a sub area today that's competing, so good luck to them. Now, yesterday, I was able to have Miss Jennifer kind of speak on the foundation and speak about what she's been doing. Miss Jennifer Cook is our foundation director, and she has done phenomenal. She went to the governor, proposed and asked for $5 million, and he gave us about half of that. So we're still waiting on some final legislative pieces, but she feels very confident with the people that she's talked with from different offices, from Farm Bureau, that they feel that this will be a for sure thing. So we're excited for that. But if you are, so one thing I was asked about was Foundation Plus chapters. So a Foundation Plus chapter, here are the guidelines for that. So you can see that you can get 500, 750, 1,000. And so what you'll be able to do, here's where a lot of people are really holding on, because we understand that this only happens if you're affiliated or if you're a Foundation Plus chapter. So early registration to all events, you're able to gauge which size you would need to match your contribution. Excuse me. So if that's something you're interested in, Mr. John Jones, our financial director, would love to walk you through that process, kind of talk with you about it, and you'd be able to help out. You'd be able to help out our foundation. Another way that you can do that, if you're like, well, Sunny, our chapter doesn't have that. Okay, something I did at Concord was before we had the Corduroy Club, we just had online giving. And so you can give in the name of your chapter. So if you're able to give, whatever the amount may be, you're able to specifically say, I'm giving in the name of. And something that Jennifer said yesterday was, if you have someone in your community that's wanting to make a donation in the name of your chapter to the foundation, then that counts too. That's your Foundation Plus membership with that giving. But we do have the Corduroy Club, and so there's different amounts that you can give. It's something that I'm a part of because I feel like it's very important. I'm not trying to convince you to, but there's different levels, and based on those different levels, you have some different perks. So maybe if there's someone in your community that that you're like, oh, hey, you could easily do this, and you'd get to come to, an ALC banquet or whatever. There's different things that they can do. We also have the Senior Society. Nominate your senior for $19.28. So they'll be in our programming guide. They have a 1-year membership to the Corduroy Club, and they get a pretty sweet little decal. That's our online giving. We have Giving Tuesday today. So I know Ms. Jennifer has reached out about that, so you've probably gotten an email. The thing that I would ask from y'all is that when you get an email from Ms. Jennifer and you are able to help, please do. We can't continue to sustain sponsors if we are not giving back as well. So to the teachers who have gave back, and anytime we've needed something, you've done it, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I hope that we can continue to grow and strengthen that. Excuse me. And then the last thing, yesterday I was able to have Miss Nina Crutchfield on. And for those of you that don't know, Miss Nina is our local program specialist. And she helps keep us updated with National FFA, and she does a phenomenal job of doing so. What she was reminding us of was that our scholarships, are due a month earlier or 2 weeks earlier on January 15th. So January 15th, scholarships are due. I know that they were having trouble before with the portal, but that's been since solved. So if you have seniors who you would like to fill out for scholarships, have them do that. And if you don't know where to find them, if you notice, every time I go to the FFA website, I only use the search bar. I do not spend time finding, no, just use the search bar. So here's the 2020 application information. They can apply now. Let's see, it'll take them through this. So they'll have to be signed in, and then add new application. And so there's a few questions, and from here, from here they'll be able to ask a few more. Let's see. Yeah, based on what you select here, you'll be able to answer more questions and provide more to the scholarship. Now there is the supplemental materials, the supplemental forms that you may need for the scholarships, and those are due on January 22nd. So December, you have your POA due again December 10th, and then January, the scholarship deadlines start, your rosters are due on the 20th. We also start contests in January. We also have another leadership conference. Oh, I'm so excited. So I'd like to share with everyone the names. I promise I would like to. We had our first Impact Conference this past weekend, and based on our feedback, we're going to call it a success. We gave out, I'll just take you to the Facebook post. Well, we gave out some FFA mini grants to students based on their application. And so we want to say congratulations to those chapters. So we're saying congratulations to Augusta, Brooklyn, Maynard, Pottsville, and Mansfield. These students were given an FFA mini grant that they are able to take back to their chapters and utilize to implement a service project. So if that's something you're looking forward to, then we're excited to see you at the next conferences. But as always, if you need anything, if you have any questions, we're here to answer those. We're here to do the best that we can do for y'all. So that's it for December.